Welcome to the deep dive. Ready to explore agentic AI? We're going deep on the research you wanted to understand.
Really fascinating stuff. It's not just AI crunching data. It's about AI that makes decisions, takes action, almost like having its own mind, almost.
Oh, like those self-driving cars, right?
Yeah, exactly. Great example. The key here is autonomy. So these agents, they operate independently. They don't need like constant human input, but there's more. You know the sources you send, they highlight proactivity and interactivity too. Those are essential for agentic AI.
Okay, I see. So all this autonomy, what if, what happens when these things make decisions we don't like?
A lot of people are asking that. Something to think about as this all develops, for sure. But for now, let's stick to how these agents work. The sources break it down into three things: perceiving, reasoning, and acting. Those are the core functions, at least.
Perceiving, hold on, like they can see.
In a way, yeah, they use sensors and interfaces.
Yeah.
For information, like our senses help us. These sensors could be anything. Cameras, microphones, data feeds, network connections even. They take all that in, process it, then use it to make decisions.
Okay, so that's perceiving. What about the reasoning? How do they make decisions from all that information?
Right. So that's where the algorithms come in. Models, strategies. They analyze the information, then choose the best action based on their goals. Like our brains, kind of. We take in information, weigh options, then decide based on what we think is best.
Not just reacting, thinking. Wow, that's impressive. What about acting? What kinds of things can they do?
The acting part, that's about, influencing their environment, not just responding. So that could be anything. A robot moving around a warehouse or a chatbot, like making suggestions or scheduling stuff.
Robots in warehouses. Sounds like a sci-fi movie.
It might, but it's real. Happening now. A new generation of robots powered by agentic AI. They can navigate complicated places, handle delicate objects, even work with people.
Wow, that's wild. So, robots, chatbots. The sources mention simulations. I gotta admit, those sound kind of abstract to me.
Think of it this way. Simulations are like virtual spaces. For researchers, they can use agentic AI to model complex systems, then see how they behave in different situations. It helps us understand everything, from traffic to how diseases spread.
I'm starting to get it. So instead of just watching these complex systems, we can create digital copies
Yeah.
and then mess around with them and see what happens.
Exactly. And that's just one thing. Agentic AI is also in video games. Remember those old games?
Well,
Like the characters they'd just follow the same path.
oh yeah, totally predictable.
Right. But now with agentic AI, those characters, they can be more dynamic,
Yeah.
intelligent. They can react to what the player does, make their own decisions, even learn as the game goes on.
Incredible. Those virtual worlds, so much more real. Unpredictable, too.
It changes everything. And it's not just for games. Think about training, educational software, even virtual therapy. It's huge.
So robots, simulations, games. This agentic AI is everywhere. What about things we use every day, like phones and computers?
You're using it more than you think. You know those personalized recommendations on shopping sites, streaming services,
Yeah.
or those chatbots on customer service pages?
You're saying there's like actual intelligence in those things? I always thought it was just like a script.
Nope. They're using agentic AI. They're always analyzing your behavior, what you like, even your current situation, to like personalize your experience.
That's both cool and kind of creepy. Like they're reading my mind.
No, maybe not that, but getting better at understanding you. And it's not just about, selling you things. Think about a smart home, right? It could know what you need, adjust the temperature, or remind you about appointments based on your schedule.
So these agents are everywhere, from warehouses to our homes. What makes them different from just a normal computer program?
It's three key abilities: autonomy, learning, and interaction. We talked about autonomy, but it's important to remember that these agents, they can work without constant human supervision.
So they're not just following like a set of rules. They can think for themselves, well, within limits. But what about the learning part? How do they actually get smarter?
Not exactly school,
Yeah.
but similar. They use something called machine learning to look at data from their interactions and adjust their models. They're like constantly experimenting, refining their approach, seeing what works.
So every success, every failure, it's all a learning opportunity. Powerful. What about interaction? We've talked about how they can, perceive and reason, but how do they communicate with the real world?
Yeah.
especially with us humans.
That's where it gets really interesting. Advanced agents are being developed with what's called natural language processing,
Mhm.
so they can understand and respond to us
Yeah.
in a way more sophisticated than ever before.
Wait, so we're talking about like conversations with machines, not just giving commands, but like exchanging ideas.
You got it.
Yeah.
And it's more than words. These agents are also getting um, object recognition,
Yeah.
image analysis. They can understand what they see,
Yeah.
interact with the world around them in a more intuitive way.
They can see, hear, understand, and learn. That's a pretty amazing combination. Feels like we're on the edge of something big.
We might be. There are so many applications for agentic AI, and we're just starting to explore them.
Well, I'm excited to see where it goes, but before we get too carried away, maybe we should think about the
You
downsides.
mean the risks, the challenges that come with giving machines, giving them this much autonomy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Robots doing chores, chatbots fixing problems, it's all great. But what about the unintended consequences? Like what could go wrong?
That's the big question, and one we need to think about, seriously. We'll get into that more later, but for now, let's take a break, come back fresh.
So we've covered what agentic AI is and how it works. I'm ready to see this in action. What are some of the like coolest things out there right now?
One area where it's really making a difference is customer service. You know those frustrating times with automated phone systems or like those chatbots that just don't get it.
Tell me about it. I've spent like hours on those things.
Imagine those interactions
I
being,
see.
actually helpful. Agentic AI it's powering these new chatbots, virtual assistants. They can understand natural language, anticipate your needs, and even like personalize things based on your, history, your preferences.
So no more repeating myself or getting stuck in those endless menus. That'd be amazing.
Exactly. These agents, they can handle all sorts of stuff, answering questions, troubleshooting, even scheduling appointments or processing orders. And because they learn from every interaction, they keep getting better, more helpful.
No, I know we talked about this before, but autonomous driving, it's one of those things that feels like it's going to happen, but also a little scary. Is agentic AI really going to be like taking the wheel anytime soon?
It's already happening in some ways. Think about things like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping, automatic braking. That's all agentic AI working behind the scenes.
Okay, so more like a gradual change than a sudden like takeover.
Yeah.
But where is it all heading? Are we really going to see cars driving themselves in our lifetime?
It's possible. Companies are putting a ton of money into this,
Yeah.
and we've already seen some impressive stuff. Cars driving in cities, on highways, all by themselves.
I get the appeal, no traffic jams, no road rage, but it's still hard to like imagine a machine making those decisions on
No.
the road with lives at stake.
I understand. It's a big leap of faith to trust a machine that much. But the benefits could be huge, not just safety, but efficiency, accessibility. Imagine transportation being like easy and affordable for everyone, no matter how old you are or if you can drive yourself.
Okay, I can get behind that. But let's shift gears a bit. Talk about something well, less earthbound. Space. Is there a role for agentic AI in space exploration?
Absolutely. It's playing a big role. Those rovers exploring Mars, collecting data, sending back those amazing
It's
pictures.
incredible. Robots on another planet.
And it's not just rovers. Agentic AI is helping to design and control spacecraft, analyze all that astronomical data, even search for alien life.
Wow, that's next level stuff. So agents helping us drive, explore space. What about like here on Earth? Healthcare. Can AI really make a difference, like saving lives?
It already is. It's being used to create new diagnostic tools,
Yeah.
personalized treatments, even help surgeons in the operating room.
AI surgeons. Sounds like science fiction.
It might, but it's becoming real. Robotic
Hmm.
surgery systems using complex algorithms, machine learning, they're letting surgeons perform these
Mm.
really intricate procedures with more precision and less invasive too.
So it's not replacing doctors, but like helping them.
Right. It's a partnership. Human skill and intuition combined with the precision and analysis of AI.
That makes sense. And it's not just surgery, right? What other ways is AI changing healthcare?
Personalized medicine is a big one.
Mm.
Imagine treatments that are tailored just for you, based on your genes, your lifestyle, your health history.
So not just a one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly. And agentic AI is making this happen, analyzing tons of data from medical records, genetic tests, even wearable sensors. They can find patterns, predict risks, so doctors can can develop better treatment plans, more targeted, more effective.
I'm blown away. The potential is huge.
It is. But of course, any powerful technology, there are potential downsides too. We talked about some of the ethical concerns before, and it's worth digging deeper as we go on.
Good point. It's easy to get caught up in the good stuff, but we got to make sure we're, developing this responsibly, thoughtfully.
Exactly. And that's what we'll focus on in the last part. We'll explore some of those ethical considerations, the challenges of giving machines, well, more autonomy.
All right, so we've seen agentic AI in action everywhere, but now I'm thinking, what does it all mean? For the future, I mean.
Yeah, the big question,
Yeah.
and a tough one. But I think one thing to think about is intelligence, how this tech might change how we understand it.
Yeah, we keep saying intelligent machines, but what does it even mean? Is it just like processing info fast, or is there more to it?
That's a question philosophers have been asking forever. We used to define intelligence, based on what humans can do: reasoning, solving problems, learning, adapting. But now, as machines get more sophisticated, it gets blurry.
So if a machine can do things we think are like intelligent, does that make it intelligent? Or is there something like special, some kind of, I don't know, spark that only humans have?
Now that's where it gets really interesting. Some people think consciousness could, like, emerge from really complex systems. So maybe AI could develop something like consciousness. Others say, no way, consciousness is totally different. Machines will never be aware like us.
Whoa, that's a lot to think about. So we're talking about like machines becoming self-aware, like out of a movie.
It does sound like sci-fi,
Yeah.
and it's causing a lot of debate. But even if AI doesn't get human-like consciousness, it's still going to change things
Yeah.
big time.
Okay, so let's say, just for fun, that AI does become super intelligent. What then? What happens to humans, robot overlords, or like some perfect partnership?
Well, who knows what the future holds? But remember that intelligence isn't just one thing. There are lots of kinds, right? Emotional intelligence, social intelligence, creative intelligence. AI might be great at some, not so much at others.
So it's not like a fight to the death. Humans and AI could like work together, each doing what they're best at.
Right. Imagine AI helping us solve tough problems, making scientific discoveries, even creating art, while humans focus on, well, relationships, connecting with each other, finding meaning.
That sounds actually pretty good. But let's be real, there are downsides too, right?
Of course, any powerful technology has risks. Agentic AI is no different. One worry is these systems could get so complex we don't understand how they work, how they make decisions.
So we might not even know how these machines are like making choices that affect us. That's kind of scary.
Yeah, something to think about for sure. Transparency, being able to explain how AI works, that's key for trust.
And what about jobs? A lot of people are worried AI will take their jobs.
I understand. It's likely that AI will automate, a lot of tasks, which could mean job losses in some areas. But don't forget, new tech also creates new jobs.
So it's not just about losing jobs, it's about like adapting, learning new skills.
Exactly. We need to prepare for a future where working with machines is normal. So education and training, that's got to focus on things AI can't do. Critical thinking, creativity, adaptability.
It feels like we're heading into like uncharted territory. This whole conversation has been, wow, really eye-opening.
It has been fascinating, yeah. And it's important to remember, the future of AI, it's not set in stone. We get to shape it.
So we're not just like along for the ride, we can actually like steer things.
Absolutely. The choices we make about research, development, rules, ethics, those will decide what AI becomes for a long time.
Well, folks, that's our deep dive into agentic AI, from the technical stuff to the mind-blowing possibilities and the challenges too.
It's been great exploring this with you.
And we hope you'll keep thinking about it. There's so much more to discover, so many questions still out there.
The future of AI, it's a story we're all writing together.
Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep those brains buzzing.